Yeah, thank you, Matronella. That's very kind. Yeah, in my last walk with Matronella around Stratton Common a month ago, when it was finally clear that I have made the decision to become a Mitra, and how anxious I would be here today, he just told me, Sergio, just the main thing, just try to be as relaxed as possible and let the whole experience, let the whole rejoicing reach you. And it sounds very simple, but I knew it was going to be difficult, but I didn't know it was going to be that difficult. Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah. Yeah, I would resist me. But yeah, I feel really, really, really happy, really thrilled, really grateful to be here with you today, marking this step into making this symbolic commitment to go for refuge to 3 year-olds and express publicly that I think myself as a Buddhist, I want to make stronger and more conscious my aspiration to follow the precepts and to do that within this really wonderfully thrilled Buddhist community. When I first heard the expression go for refuge, during the study course that I've been doing with Jack and many other wonderful men here today with Matronella Maladana, I have this initial sense of like a rejection, make on a wrong assumption that it will be an expectation that at some point I will have some kind of a monastic life, like hidden away from the world and from reality. So it took me a while to probably understand what going for refuge actually means, which is the opposite of escaping from reality, but the unreality of the world as we experience it, to escape from the unsatisfaction and the conditionality of our realities. And you do that by committing yourself, giving yourself to the Buddha and the Dharma and the Sangha. So making this commitment here today feels really, really significant for me. And it has been a gradual and quite organic unfolding process, very, very natural and fast in many ways, but it has been really, really, really difficult, really challenging, quite frightening at times for me, and it has taken a lot of working through, a lot of resistance and a lot of inner difficulties. And although I have reached a place where the decision feels very congruent for me, I know in my mind and my heart that this is exactly what I want to do to commit further with the Buddhist path. This decision has crystallized the ongoing tension I have been having since I come across Buddhism less than 2 years ago. A tension between doing what it feels safe and familiar, but leaving me with a sense of being quite dissatisfied, quite disconnected and hidden away. And on the other side, making decisions that are really, really difficult for me. Nearly going against my deeper survival instincts, but putting myself in situations which to set up the conditions to grow and connect more with others and with myself, and learn to live a life which has more value and has more meaning. So although this tension has progressively softened, it's still very much present in my life. There is a pull towards staying in a safe space, because this has been my way of functioning for many, many years due to quite traumatic experiences as a child and as a teenager, which have left me feeling with this longing for connection and belonging. And this I have been able to progressively to meet more, the more I have been able to open up more and more to the experiences and friendships and teachings that being part of the British Sangha has offered me. So yeah, my initial contact to the Brixton Sangha came in 2021 when I enrolled the online meditation challenge, as Matronella was mentioning. And at the time, I didn't know anything about Buddhism apart from very big ideas. I haven't really meditated before. I have gone through a very painful breakup, and it's part of having a quite comfortable life and engaging with so meaningful job. It was, a dissatisfaction with my way of life was becoming more and more evident, and a sense of something quite central missing, which was causing me a great deal of suffering. So I started to engage with the meditation challenge, And in spite of their resistance, I was progressively more drawn to the sense of warmth and connection I was feeling during the talks, as well as the impact of doing meditation more frequently was already having on me, realizing I was spending 99% of my time in my little head, but there was also a body, and I have to really learn to acknowledge and identify my feelings and thoughts and emotions, not only in order to feel grounded, but also in order to engage with life more, with more space, more freely. So I found very heartwarming, very inspiring listening to very different people from the Sangha talking each week about the impact of meditation in their lives. And I was drawn by the sense of honesty and integrity I sense people taking very seriously what they were doing, and trying to become more and more responsible of their own minds and their own lives. So I attended my first walking meditation to Effra space as soon as it opened. And I was noticing straight away the welcoming and the vibrant atmosphere, the warmth, friendliness, which I responded quite positively. I continue attending courses every Wednesday, trying to help with the team, learning, progressively having more connection with people from the Sangha, as well as familiarization with some Dharma teachings, which were very inspiring, helping me to cultivate qualities which appear to have been dormant for a while. But with this ongoing sense of ambivalence, a part of me wanted to join in, but very resistant to do it. Part of me wasn't sure if I was joining some kind of a strange cult, which were talking about very weird but really interesting things. The bodhicitta and the heart and mind connection, the wheel of life and the different realms of existence, rebirth. But somehow I continue turning up, kind of being pulled up by something, like if a deeper, wiser part of myself already know this is the path you want to go, and all you need to learn is just to surrender. So I attended my first retreat at Padrasana a few months later, which were very significant for me, spending a weekend with a group of people, sharing meals and talks, meditation and rituals. They offer me like a very strong sense of connection and belonging, like a glimpse of what Sangha feels like, this sense of solidarity and camaraderie with a group of people who had a shared purpose of wanting to explore their spiritual path together. And during this retreat, I was having a chat with Viranaga. He invited me very kindly to an open day at the Naprasada, because there were like some space available to be part of the community, which I did the following month, listening to different people talking very openly, very honestly about their own experience of living in the community, attending group studies and retreats. And I felt really very inspired, very moved, and quite straight away we agreed to have a trial period to stay in the community, and I ended up living in the community a few months later, last March. So it's very difficult to capture or summarize the impact of living in a Buddhist community surrounded by such a wonderful human beings have had on me. I could say really many things, but I will just say a few because I'm mindful about the time. So it definitely has helped me to progressively soften up my own individualism and my own obsession with self-concern. Focusing on what I want, what I need all the time, and be more concerned for others on a daily basis. I remember my first months living in the Naprasada, how upset I was because of having to have dinner every day around 6:30, 2 hours my normal schedule. Obviously there were like a lot of study groups and classes to attend. So I learned in many small mundane ways to accommodate my own wants and preferences to the needs of the community. Also, when you live in the community, there is no place to hide unless you stay all day in your room, which is quite boring and a little bit weird. So spending time with people and getting to know them. Not just when you are on your best behavior or your best state of mind is part and parcel of developing a spiritual friendship. I have learned to be much more open and honest with others, taking off my mask, learning to be more vulnerable, which has helped me to develop a more integrated sense of self. And also with that, I think one of the things I love more about being in the community in a Tirana and Buddhist community is the culture of rejoicing, learning to be, is where we acknowledge and celebrate the wonderful qualities that each person brings and embodies, affecting others, and contributed to create this wonderful tapestry of inspiration that community represents, which I don't find this very easy at all, and this practice, because I come from a culture of a lot of criticism and blaming. So last November it was my birthday, and I was at the receiving end of a lot of rejoicing, listening to each person of the community wholeheartedly rejoicing on the qualities I have, and it was really moving for me to listen to that, which I found very difficult to acknowledge myself, and it brought this very intense, very moving experience of being seen, being witnessed, feeling very much appreciated and at home. So this is one of the many examples of how living in the community has helped me to grow, opening up to see myself on how others see me from an appreciative and loving way, which in turn has helped me to develop a more appreciative joy, more kindness, more metta, not only towards the people I live, but also towards many of the people in my life, my family, my friends, the people I help through my work. So yes, being here today and making this decision to become a Mitra feels like a very important step in this gradual process happening in my life, where I'm moving away from a life who has been driven largely by staying in a safe space internally within a quite narrow self-referential frame towards something much more bigger and brighter and expansive. I feel like I have just started to make my first steps in this big pathway ahead, which feels very mysterious and very, very exciting. But I know it's going to help me to learn to live my life in a way that feels more aligned with my own values and aspirations. It's going to help me to connect and vibrate much more with others, and help me to develop more compassion and generosity and wisdom in my own life, but in the world around me. Thank you very much.